I'm Sohee and welcome back to Inssa Korea. Are you planning to learn Korean? Or have you started? Or are you stuck in the process? Either way, you'll be able to reach your Korean goals faster if you avoid these pitfalls. Mispronunciation. Korean has a distinct set of consonants and vowels, and mispronouncing them can lead to misunderstandings. Very often, students mix up the single consonant sound and the double consonant sounds. 방, 빵, they mean different things. One means room and one means bread. I understand that you may struggle with these sounds, especially when they don't exist in your native language. To make things simple for you, I've created a free Korean pronunciation course, Hangul Made Easy, in which I explained all the pronunciation rules, alphabets, and all the tips there. Want to learn how to read Korean in the right way? Subscribe to this channel and click the link down below in the description box to join in the course. Ignoring honorifics. Korean has complex honorifics and politeness levels that determine how you speak to others based on age, status, and familiarity. Failing to use appropriate honorifics can be seen as disrespectful. To be safe, always use 높임말 or 존댓말, honorifics, and only use 반말, casual form, with your friends or the people who are younger than you and very close to you. So instead of asking 밥 먹었어 to your elders, you would need to ask 뭐 좀 드셨어요? Word order. Korean follows a subject, object, verb, SOV word order, which is different from English subject, verb, object, SVO order. And students may often translate sentences directly from their native language, resulting in incorrect word order. To avoid this mistake, try developing the habit of thinking in the Korean word order instead of translating it from your native language, because the word order is different and it's likely that you will make mistake. A simple example here of saying I like you, 나, 너, 좋아해. I, you, like is the word form in Korean. And a little tip here would be, in Korean, we always do not say the subject and object if they are both known. Very often, it's just a simple 좋아해, I like you. Verb conjugations. Korean verbs undergo various conjugations depending on the tense, formality, and politeness, and getting these wrong can significantly impact the meaning of a sentence. Be careful of the irregular verb conjugations. For example, 들다, to carry, its future tense is 들 거예요. And for 듣다, to listen, because of the irregular conjugation, its future tense would be 들을 거예요. Particles. Korean uses particles to indicate the relationships between words in a sentence. Misusing or omitting particles can lead to grammatical errors. Subject particles and object particles are the most commonly misused particles. 밥을 먹었어요. Here, 을 is being used is an object because 밥 cannot do the action, which is to eat. Someone has to do this action, to eat, but that someone, being the subject, is actually non-existent in this sentence, which is very common in a Korean sentence. So next time, if you're confused if you need to use a subject or an object particle, you just need to check if your noun is able to do the action, the verb. If it can, then it's a subject. If it can't, then it would be an object. Lack of vocabulary. Expanding vocabulary is crucial in any language, and students may struggle to learn many Korean words, especially if they have no prior exposure to the language. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of building a strong vocabulary base, so feel free to join the 70 days Topic 1 Vocabulary Challenge, in which you can learn 10 words every day for 70 days. And until then, you will know almost like all of the 700 vocabulary that you need as a beginner. Also, I have a themed vocabulary playlist for you to learn more. Do check it out after this video. Konglish. This refers to the incorrect use of English words in Korean sentences. Sometimes students rely too heavily on English words they know, thinking they can substitute them directly into Korean. While there are actually a lot of English loanwords in Korean, if you put too many of them in the sentence, it would just sound very unnatural and it would seem like you are not very fluent in Korean. Not learning Hanja. Hanja, which means Chinese characters in Korean, actually plays a huge part in the language. Almost 60% of Korean is from Chinese words. Trying to look into Hanja, the Chinese characters, can be very helpful for understanding the origins and meanings of words. In intermediate and advanced Korean, there are actually even more Hanja being used. So if you are looking to attempt for the Topic 2 exam, then Hanja is your best bet. You need to start studying them now. You may see Hanja everywhere you go, just that you may not know that they are actually from Chinese characters. Let's say 여자 and 남자. You probably have heard of that. 여 means girl and 남 means boy. So when you go to the washroom, you'll be able to choose where to go. Overusing formal language. In an attempt to be polite, some learners would actually overuse the formal language when it's not necessary, and that would come across as unnatural in casual settings. 당신, you, is actually a very common mistake that beginners make when they first come across Korean. They would use 당신 to refer to the other party because they think that it's being polite, but actually 당신 is very formal and it's really not being used like most of the time. Fail to practice listening and speaking. Korean pronunciation and listening comprehension can be challenging. Some students may focus too much on reading and writing and thus neglecting listening and speaking practice. The best way to retain what you have learned is to practice it, use it in any ways that you can think of. If you'd like to practice with me, just click the link down below and I hope to see you in the class soon. Ignoring cultural context. Understanding Korean culture and social norms is essential for using the language appropriately. Failure to do so can lead to misunderstandings and unintentional offense. Take your time to understand Korean's culture, be it from dramas or K-pops or variety shows. There are many ways for you to explore the culture. But of course, the best way is to come to Korea to experience it yourself. Not having a consistent study schedule. This is the last mistake that Korean learners make, but it's definitely not the least important because this is actually the first thing that you will need to do even before you start learning Korean. I've seen many students starting off with a big goal for their Korean learning journey, But all that motivation's just gone like that in 1 or 2 months. And why is that? That's exactly because they do not have a planned out consistent schedule. If you're curious how to plan out your Korean study, do watch this video here next.